Coming up next, President Trump says he signed an executive order to keep families together at the border because it was the right thing to do, but that it wasn't an easy decision.
If you're really, really pathetically weak, the country's going to be overrun with millions of people. And if you're strong, then you don't have any heart. That's a tough dilemma. Perhaps I'd rather be strong.
Strong, but was it smart? And will it be enough to get Democrats on board? Our political panel weighs in next.
And for more on this, Jessie Jane Duff and Howard Franklin joining me now. Jessie is a retired Marine Corps gunnery sergeant and a senior fellow at the London Center for Policy Research. Howard is a Democratic strategist. Let's get onto it. Look, the president under pressure from Democrats and members of his own party. He backs off separating families at the border, but Democrats just can't take yes for an answer. They're still complaining. They're saying that immigrants will be detained indefinitely. Howard, your reaction?
I mean, I appreciate the sentiment that drove President Trump to sign this executive order, but you have to acknowledge this is one step forward, two steps back. There's still plenty of legal hurdles and problems that this executive order does not address, it does not fix. And we'll see immigration as an issue continue to be in the news and continue to be a driving force in the midterm elections.
That's absolutely true for sure. Jessie, to you, I just want to note here on this issue of indefinite, Republican Senator Marco Rubio tweeted this yesterday. Just heard Senate colleague on the floor say U.S. detains immigrant children indefinitely and indiscriminately. This is just patently false, he tweets. They are entitled to due process hearings, so not indefinite, and only applies to those who enter U.S. unlawfully. So it is not indiscriminate. Okay, Jessie, what do you make of this debate? And what do you see as the fate today of the two big House bills coming to the floor? We've got one, the Goodlatte bill, and then a more moderate bill. What do you see?
Well, President Trump was elected to stop illegal immigration. This is one of his very core issues. And Democrats, of course, are very upset over all of this because they failed to do anything under the Obama administration. We know that the ACLU just recently released documents in May of this year that indicated that there was massive abuses with children that were being detained by the border, by Customs and Borders and Protection. But what was happening was nobody was correcting it. So now this is a basic whistle call out to Democrats to protest President Trump. We know this has been going on for decades. It is following the Flores Act, in which they cannot detain children with their families when they're detained when they've entered illegally. This is something that's been in place for decades.
Interesting. Howard, to you, one fault line any of these immigration bills will have to cross, and remember, they're coming to the floor today, is that between conservative Republicans and their more moderate counterparts. I want you to see the video of House Speaker Paul Ryan and Freedom Caucus Chairman Mark Meadows in a shouting match yesterday. Take a look at this. I don't think we have any audio with it, but you can see that they are in each other's grills here. Howard, is there any chance that Democrats will support this compromise bill?
I think it's really unlikely the Democrats will support the compromise or the more conservative bill. I think, the issue here is part of the process, and this is not the process, President. But he's put forward, or at least Republicans in Congress have put forward two pieces of legislation. They're giving Republican lawmakers a choice instead of coming forward with a single piece of legislation that addresses all the issues. And so, acknowledging that there are two caucuses and there are two very different bills, I don't see much hope for either of them crossing over today.
Well, what can get over the finish line is an open question. But just the president doesn't seem to have any trouble with his base. This is interesting, judging from last night's rally in Duluth. Listen.
The Democrats want open borders. Let everybody come in. Let everybody pour in. We're not going to let it happen.
So, Jessie, what does this mean for the midterms? You saw his base there. They're on his side. But can he bring more people in to support him? Will it just be his very strong and adamant base?
If the Congress fails to act on this and they give amnesty, we will see critical problems and failures by the Republicans in the elections in 2018. This is going to cause the collapse of their party. They have to recognize that this is what got the president elected. The American people have been calling for this, and we know Congress must close these loopholes. If you don't want to see children detained, you've got to stop the loopholes that allow these migrants to come over and use their children to get amnesty. This has become a free-for-all, pretty much allowing people to come into this country illegally. We must close knows this. If the Republicans start granting amnesty, it will be a collapse of this party. We will fail.
Well, a long way to go. Jessie and Howard, thanks for coming on the show today. Great to see both of you.